Well, aspects of aging, if you're not prepared for them, they're still going to happen. You are still going to experience these aspects. They're going to happen haphazardly. They're going to come and go. They're not going to stay in any kind of an order. But if you are prepared for them, in general, the common, typical, it happens to either you or someone near you. If you are prepared for a wide array of aging aspects, then it's just like every other time of your life. You either became informed or it came out of the blue. The question from last episode was, is there something that you're looking forward to losing or letting go of? And I had one, and I'm not joking around about this. I have enjoyed doing yard work, gardening, vegetables, flowers, lawns, chopping back invasive species. I have enjoyed that. Different homes, completely different landscape designs. I'm looking forward to losing that activity because I'm exchanging it for something else. Now, a friend of mine had the same reaction. She said to me, oh goodness, I'm going to say that she was 70 something. And she said, I've been a widow for a while. And one day I looked out of my window at that yard that I've kept up for so long, and I thought, it just looks like a chore. I'm done. I'm going to move into a condo where there is no yard upkeep whatsoever. I don't know if she regretted that decision, but I do know that she met a widower and that they married, and I have seen them every once in a while at the grocery store, getting out of the car in a parking lot somewhere. And I think she exchanged that yard work for something she didn't really expect, and that was to want to share life again with someone else on their terms, actually at his property. I wonder if they have someone working on the yard for them or if they work on it together. Today, our first aspect is adult children experiencing aspects of aging. I know I always wanted them to grow up. I wanted them to get older. I don't know that I wanted them to get old. I know that these challenges that they are experiencing are going to affect their emotions. I know that it will impact our relationship, and it's also going to impact all the other relationships around them. It's going to get very complicated. There's quite a network of who is closer to whom and who gets the brunt of those times when you just react. I think the one thing is to make sure that your adult children, as they are caring for you, as they're checking up on you, as they're bringing you to appointments, or making sure you're not getting scammed or conned by something on the phone or the computer, as they're checking up on your MedMinder, are you checking up on them? Are you asking them if they are pre-acting their age? Oh my goodness, they could be 20 or 30 years younger than you are, or 40. And it may seem ridiculous for them to think that far in advance at that time. There's not a magical number, but you can be continuously sharing with them how you are glad that you prepared for those emotional and relational issues. The next aspect of aging is I need an aging doula. And what do doulas do? Well, you may have heard of a doula for birthing. So the word is Latin. The word in Latin, antepartum and postpartum. You've heard that many times. Antepartum is before the birth, the birthing process, and then post is, of course, afterwards. So I looked up the word in Latin, the word aging, and it came out to be, and I did listen to the pronunciation. So for Latin speaking people, mi scueratque, mi scueratque. And that's aging. So anti-aging or before mi scueratque is a great time to pre-actor age. After you enter aging, because of course this is not end of life, but after you enter aging, you know you're old. Everybody refers to you as, you know, my elder, or, you know, that's, you know, great grandma or what have you. After you enter that, there are two things that a birth doula can do for you that this pre-actor age journaling experience cannot do for you. And that is feed you ice chips and give you a back rub. Other than that, your journaling leads you toward your aging doula. It's everyone together is doing the doula thing. Your designee or delegate that you go to, that you confide in, your documentation that the pre-actor age journal leads you to do, that is part of your doula team, because, well, birthing lasts quite a while you're in the middle of it, but it's really only a few days or hours. Aging can be decades. So you're going to need a team. You will need to have communication set. You will need to have some things literally wrapped up and prepared for that moment. You will need to make some choices ahead of time and revisit those choices to see if they really still, you know, speak your language or meet your need. But this book is going to be your aging doula, your of miscueratque, because it's your way on your terms, not what someone else decides for you because you are looking or acting or sounding old in their opinion. So yes, you do need an aging doula if you want to age on your own terms. If you want to be prepared so that something doesn't hit you out of the blue and send your relationships and your emotions careering off of the path that you thought you were preparing for your retirement years. The last aspect for today starts with a word that kind of makes me cringe. It's the word still. Maybe because I don't want to be still or sit still. but mostly because it seems that you have to convince people that you still have value to contribute. Maybe you have to convince yourself. Do I sit and let the world take care of itself? Do I deserve to pull inward and spend more time focused entirely on myself, or make a smaller bubble for myself as far as relationships? I'm not telling you what to do. I'm saying that you'll want to think that through. So if you still have something to contribute, and you do put out there extra time, maybe it is extra money, like a contribution that helps a situation, but it may also be intellectual property that is yours alone. It's unique to you, and the world would be missing out on it if you didn't share it. It could be something creative that maybe looks a lot like what someone else has made, but it's got your own signature, literally your signature on it. It looks the way that you want it to be enjoyed or to make a difference. There may be an innovation that, well, they say that necessity is the mother of invention. So this innovation that you're coming up with is like the great grandmother of inventions, because you are innovating this for yourself, for your peers, for the people that are important to you, for people who are caring for you. And you are creating this moment. You are inventing this device. You are communicating this thought that is completely unique to you, and it is being brought out to your small bubble of people, or for all the world to enjoy, because you did decide. You certainly do have value to contribute still, even though you're old. The question for the next episode is, look up birthing doulas, look up death or end of life doulas. I don't know if there are other doulas that are certified, that are recognized, that are used by anyone. I doubt that there are people who say, I'm an aging doula, but they may have a lot of information to share with you because they are in an advisory capacity for senior citizens, or people who are trying to find long-term insurance, or items that will help them to remain independent, or find a place that they would like to move into so that they feel more comfortable with their own peer group. There are a lot of different advisors for aging. So look up doula and decide, could you be a doula? And what would it be for? What act of life, even the end of life is the final act of life. What act of life, like birthing, aging, approaching retirement, would you be a doula, maybe like a life coach for people who are entering college or are changing jobs? I don't know. Would you be a car doula or a painting doula? Some act of life that you could do the doula thing. So that's the question, is what kind of a doula could you be? I'd like to highlight the third C at the end of the pre-action aspect of aging, pre-act journaling pages. And the third C is communicate it. So you are the one who chooses a delegate designee to communicate your choices, your preferences, your priorities during all your decades of being past the typical age, which is apparently 65. That was decided like a century and a half ago, that 65. A German gentleman decided that 65 was the point at which you are old. So here I am on the cusp of 65. So what you would do when you come to that third letter C is that you would ask, that person. First, you would tell them what your priorities and preferences are about your own aging as you interact with or deal with or are hit by an aspect of aging. Then you would ask them, possibly your choice, if you and they could do that pre-action plan together. And then finally, you would ask them for their opinion, which you could take it or leave it, and you could also revisit it. So communicating is letting someone else know because they deserve to be informed. How frustrating is it for them and for yourself if they're guessing what's most important to you, how you want to handle things, even what you would do to reward yourself for responding even after you are reacting? How frustrating for both of you to continue your relationship without communicating to them, this is the way you feel. The next three aspects of aging, they are no picnic. I did put three toughies all together on purpose. One is increased need for non-prescription assistive devices. These are not the ones that the doctor suggests or prescribes or tells you you must use. But these are devices that you just need to know that they exist and try them out and try to figure out where you go to try them out and maybe get some online and hope that somebody gives you some advice on what you could use to help you to remain independent. The second is spending a lot of time alone. Even if you're in a house full of people, maybe you are watching TV all the time. Maybe you feel like they're all from a different demographic and you just don't have the opportunity to talk with them about the good old days because they weren't born then. And maybe you are having difficulty with your own body and it's just easier to just be alone. The third one, extremely difficult for me to talk about, something I do not want to happen, an aspect of aging that I would like for you to be able to avoid. And I do have a plan for that. It is available on the Aging Better Network, and it's called Declaration of Freedom. It is freedom from being targeted for elder exploitation, and that would include neglect and abuse and other sorts of cons and scams. So these are tough subjects, and only one of them could you hope to circumvent. The others, well, they just come your way. And so, even though I usually end on kind of a high note, I am admitting to you right now that as I am writing these aspects of aging pages for the prompted journal, the pre-Act Your Age journal, I keep thinking, I'm dealing with that right now, or that happened to me a year ago, or I've already had an experience that is so similar to this. And that's when I realized I'm 62 years old. Of course, I'm experiencing aspects of aging. And of course, that's why I want to be prepared. I want you to be prepared. I guess that's why I still am the aging enthusiast.